Welcome to another informative video from the Relationship Recipe. If you find this video helpful, hit the like button, drop a comment, or follow us. Your engagement helps us be seen. Also, we'd love to see you at our blog at therelationshiprecipe.com for more in-depth relationship and lifestyle articles. Walkaway Wife Syndrome is a term often used to describe a situation where a wife decides to leave her marriage after feeling neglected and unheard for an extended period. She may have done it all for her husband and kids, bending herself to be a good wife, while being left feeling emotionally exhausted day after day. Back in the day, many women felt trapped in marriages where the husband was the breadwinner, and many places would not even hire a married woman. Back then, it was mostly men dumping their wives for pursuit of younger flesh. The difference between them and walkaway wives is that we are not leaving for another man or sex. We are leaving for ourselves. Keep in mind that these stages of walkaway wife syndrome may not be linear. You may hover in between, backslide, or skip a stage at some point. This is normal, so don't be too hard on yourself if it happens. While the stages of walkaway wife syndrome isn't a formal psychological diagnosis, it reflects a common pattern observed in many marriages. Here are the stages that typically describe this process. 1. Discontent and unhappiness. In this very early stage of walkaway wife syndrome, the wife starts feeling increasingly unhappy and dissatisfied in the marriage. She may notice that her emotional needs are not being met. 2. Feeling ignored and unheard. This phase of walkaway wife syndrome is characterized by a lack of response. A wife's efforts to communicate with her spouse are often dismissed, ignored, or minimized, leading to growing frustration and a sense of being undervalued. This persistent emotional disconnection makes her feel invisible and insignificant, eroding her self-esteem and belief in the relationship. Over time, these negative interactions cause her to internalize the notion that her spouse doesn't care about her feelings or the marriage, leading her to emotionally shut down and contemplate leaving the relationship, as she perceives her spouse as unable or unwilling to provide the necessary emotional support and validation. 3. Emotional withdrawal. In the detachment phase of walkaway wife syndrome, the wife emotionally withdraws to protect herself from further hurt, leading to a decrease in efforts to fix the relationship. This withdrawal reduces intimacy and connection, redirecting her emotional energy away from the marriage and towards other aspects of life. As she becomes increasingly resigned to the belief that the marriage is beyond repair, her focus shifts from trying to mend the relationship to considering the emotional and logistical aspects of leaving, resulting in a noticeable decline in attempts to communicate, resolve conflicts, or engage in shared activities. 4. Seeking fulfillment. Elsewhere, in the external focus phase of walkaway wife syndrome, the wife starts seeking emotional fulfillment outside the marriage through friendships, hobbies, or work, investing her emotional energy elsewhere. This period involves significant self-reflection and personal growth, as she examines her needs, desires, and what she wants from life and a relationship. She may develop new connections and rediscover neglected interests, finding joy and satisfaction in these pursuits. This introspection often leads to a clearer understanding of the aspects of her marriage that are unacceptable and what she needs to feel fulfilled, prompting her to seriously consider leaving the marriage for a more emotionally satisfying life. 5. Decision to leave. In the final decision phase of walkaway wife syndrome, the wife, after exhaustive contemplation and feeling that all efforts to improve the marriage have been futile, decides to leave. She begins preparing for the separation, which includes financial planning, seeking legal advice, and finding a new place to live. This resolute action is driven by prolonged dissatisfaction and is marked by a sense of finality and clarity. As she strategically plans for her future, she takes proactive steps to ensure a smooth transition, reinforcing her decision and empowering herself to embrace a new chapter in life. 6. The announcement. In the breaking the news phase of walkaway wife syndrome, the wife informs her spouse of her decision to leave, which often shocks the spouse, especially if unaware of her deep unhappiness. This moment, while terrifying, represents a critical emotional juncture. The wife, having already mourned the marriage, is resolute and determined by the time she announces her decision. This stage forces both partners to confront the reality of their failing marriage, with the wife's firm resolve and extensive preparation underscoring her commitment to prioritizing her own happiness and well-being despite the potential for conflict and upheaval. 7. Separation and moving on. In the physical and emotional separation phase of walkaway wife syndrome, the wife leaves the marital home and begins rebuilding her life independently. This period involves healing from the relationship, rediscovering herself, and moving forward with her life, focusing on personal growth and recovery. It's important to note that the journey each person takes is unique, and not every situation will follow these stages exactly. Additionally, while the term Walkaway Wife Syndrome is often used in the context of women, men can also experience similar feelings and stages in a marriage. If you recognize yourself in these stages, it might be helpful to seek support from friends, family, or a professional counselor. They can provide guidance and help you navigate your feelings and decisions. This concludes another insightful video. For a more in-depth look at relationships, divorce, and other lifestyle topics, be sure to stop by our blog at therelationshiprecipe.com. Thanks for watching.